What is going on, guys? Today we got a good one. We have a 2012 BMW X3 with the check engine light on. I kind of already know, I did scan this car previously. I kind of already know what could be the issue or what is setting the check engine light. It's the oxygen sensor. The customer wants to take the risk and actually just replace the sensor. It should be the downstream one, but I'm still going to scan the car, make sure that that's what the faults that came back are. And if that's the case, he wants to take the risk and just replace it. He doesn't want to pay for the diagnostic fee, which, you know, I gave him that option, and he just said he just wants to get it replaced. So if that doesn't fix it, then we'll have to come back out here and actually diagnose the car. But for right now, let me grab my gear and let's get this car scanned. The 2 port is right here. Okay, let's actually do regular OBD scan. See what that gives us. I'm recording this part with my phone because the glare on the GoPro is really bad. So we'll see what we got here. We got 4 codes. Like I said, I did scan this car a while ago when I did a bunch of work for this car, for this customer, and we had oxygen sensor faults. So I think that's what we're gonna have to. O2 sensor, circuit, bank 2, sensor 2, rich saline condition, temperature not reached, so that could be just the, you know, the actual heater circuit. So more than likely, we cannot assume, but without testing it, you know, we can't really do anything. But it is sensor 2, which means that it's the downstream of the oxygen sensor. It's not the upstream one. I got the car up on these. It is very muddy here, and I don't know what to do about it other than suck it up and get down there. But yeah, we'll see. I just set this car up, but I'm gonna move it again because it's very muddy and the sensors are on the other side, so it's gonna suck. But I'm gonna move my van out of the way and try to put this where my van is, because I think it's less muddy there. So let's do that. Got this thing in the new spot here, put it right in front of the van. So now let's get down there. Okay, so this should be bank 2, sensor 2 right here at the bottom. Right above this, right there. So if that's the case, I think that's bank 2. I'm gonna look this up, make sure that that's bank 2 right there, but I'm pretty sure that's bank 2. We'll see. Okay, and then there's something holding that like that, and we'll disconnect this connector also in the back here. So heated circuit, it's the same color wires here. You know, told him I'll physically look at it to see if there's any opens. I don't see any physical opens. I see some oil up at the top there. It's no biggie. I'm not too worried about that. So, you know, right now I'm gonna replace this. Yeah, put the O2 sensor on there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's up there. And I had to use some zip ties because all those clamps were rusted and broken. So what I'm gonna do is clear all the fault codes and drive the car for a bit. Okay, I did not have to go far. We did get fault codes to return. Nothing for the downstream because we didn't drive enough for that. But upstream, which I think this is new actually. It wasn't there last time when I did the scan. We're getting multiple cylinder misfire and cylinder 1, 2, and 3 damaging exhaust gas after starting. And if I look at the live data, try to get you guys in this. So if we look at oxygen sensor control, so upstream 1.8, upstream oxygen sensor. So this one is not moving. That one is staying at 3.1, 3.2. This is our sensor, bank 1 sensor 1 right here. And it goes in the back. So I'm not sure exactly if I can see this thing or not. Damn. Chances of me getting that out from up here are like 0. So that's where the center goes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is take this out if I can, because I want to test this wire. Yes, I'm diagnosing this car anyways. So the white wire should be ground, the other one should be 12 volts. So I'm kind of stuck here because, you know, I'm not really trying to diagnose the car for the guy, but I also don't want to leave the car like that. So I might just plug in the new sensor, because I do have a new upstream sensor. In case I needed one, or because I wasn't sure which one I needed. So, because once I start looking at wiring diagrams and all of that, I mean, you know, it's going to require actual diagnosis. And Well, I'm not getting paid to do actual diagnosis. I'm gonna plug this in and we're gonna test it out. Okay, so another issue that I'm dealing with, I removed the old O2 sensor because I wanted to plug this one in and see if this would fix it. Then I would have just left this on there and he would have paid me for both O2 sensors. The problem I'm having is when I removed the old O2 sensor, it pulled some of the threads, and I don't want to damage this new one if that's not the issue. So what I did was I actually plugged in this new sensor and it seems to be running fine, because before what it would happen was it actually like when you start it would run rough and I would get those cylinder 1, 2 and 3 misfire. So I think it's running pretty good right now. So no fault so far. Before, the fault actually came on relatively fast. I think at this point I'm gonna have to replace that sensor. I have no other choice. So I'm just gonna be very careful, try to get, you know, maybe clean the threads up a little bit, use some brake clean, clean the threads up, and because it didn't pull out the full threads, but the old actual sensor did get damaged a little bit. Which is not ideal, but yeah, I have no other choice. I mean, if I turn it off, turn it back on, and just let it idle, before it was starting to kind of like stumble, and it actually turned off at one point. But like I said, I came here to do the downstream sensor. That was what I had the faults for initially, you know, the first time I was here. And when I came in today, I had bank 2 sensor 2 heater circuit. Before I replace it, I'm gonna plug in the old sensor to the harness again and see if I get anything, if the fault comes back on. So let's do that. So I have the old sensor right here. Let's plug this in, and if this starts running rough and I get the fault, then I'm just gonna throw that sensor on there, because at this point I'm just wasting time here. Nothing so far. Okay, so signal constantly lean. Okay, so I did not have that on before. So let's see. Because it could be that that sensor is not reading properly. Okay, so we're gonna clear this one more time. And I'm gonna plug in the other sensor again. And I'm gonna do that same check again. Alright guys, we got the new sensor on there. Gotta put this cover back on, and we're gonna take this car on next. Okay, new sensor is in. We're out for a road test just to see. Looking at these values right here, they're a lot closer correlated. The upstreams, if you look at both upstream sensors before, one of them would stay at 3.2 volts. Right now they're more closely correlated. So far no faults have come back. I've only done not even a mile, so we're gonna put a couple miles on this car. I'm gonna turn it on and off a few times. Reason why you want to turn a car on and off when you're checking for a check engine light is because it needs to complete a few drive cycles. So sometimes with oxygen sensors, unless it's really bad to the point where the car is misfiring, it won't show you. You could drive for 100 miles and it won't show you anything, but if you turn it on and off a couple times as you're driving on the same trip, if you split it, let's say, you know, 10 miles, 10 miles, 10 miles, that check engine light will come back on. We are now about 8 miles, 7 miles into the trip, 7-8 miles. It's about to be 8. And so far it's looking good, man. So that's it as far as this video, guys. We're 8 miles into the trip, about to be 9 miles, and the car is looking good. So I'm not going to be doing any more driving. I'm going to take it back. I think it's another 2 miles to get back to the house, maybe a mile or so. And yeah, so 1 more mile and we'll be at 10 miles for the trip. I'm pretty satisfied with this. I'm going to let the customer know, and we're going to be heading home. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something, although I doubt it, because there wasn't much for me to really explain. I didn't diagnose anything really. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Have a good one. Peace.